Has Apple run out of ideas? I'm watching all these iPhone 15 commercials that tout with titanium. The titanium sides do literally nothing to improve the phone. I always thought Apple made its business on innovation and design. Should we be concerned, or am I overreacting to the marketing? No, I predict there will be an iPhone 16 and even maybe 17 after that. Just wait until Siri GPT takes a virtual form with Vision Pro next year. 2 out of the 3 trillion market cap is attributable to the fact that teenage girls will deem whoever has the wrong text bubble color a subhuman poor. Ignoring the Vision Pro, they have been heavily expanding into entertainment, services and financial products. There's still lots of room for growth even if the iPhone tech and design are stagnating. And it's probably worth noting that no other companies are really innovating on smartphones from year to year anymore either. So there's probably not much of a competitive disadvantage. Vision Pro coming in 2024. If they can put the existing products on the market to shame like they did with MP3 players and cell phones, they'll be in good shape. What is there to innovate these days with smartphones? Every improvement is marginal at this point. They will continue to sell iPhones because they work well and look nice. End thread. They ran out of ideas in 2008. One of the biggest reason people buy their iPhones is for the ecosystem. People have their movies, pictures, movies, etc. in that ecosystem, and they probably also have a Mac computer or tablet as well. Then add in that multiple family members may be in that ecosystem on a family share plan and are using iCloud to back up their data and pictures. The phones do not need to make big leaps in innovation because people are trapped in that ecosystem and will replace those iPhones at some point with new iPhones. That was my exact thinking. It seems like titanium is literally the only thing they are saying about the phone. I'm definitely getting the feeling that they are running out of ideas. There's only so many times you can make something smaller, bigger, have more cameras, etc., etc. You're right. I'm buying puts on Apple. Apple products are like FIFA video games. The same thing every year. But it fills a certain need with a certain type of buyer. That buyer being someone who buys a phone every 3-4 years for novelty, better quality, and to compensate for the old battery decomposing. My biggest worry is the quality and novelty not improving enough, thus spacing out the purchase interval, which I think is already happening, by the way. I am willing to bet that the iPhone 15 numbers will be way higher than anyone expects. Crazy how people want the phone to completely change every year. Innovation is a series of events that changes a product over time. Mass adoption is necessary for those changes to be successful. I could get into it more, but this is WSB and no one here has any good ideas at all and somehow think they know more than the world's most valuable company. Apple Car is coming. Rocket, rocket, rocket. This happens to every product eventually. When a product is optimized enough, reaches its maturity, there aren't advancements to be made, and other features are not advanced enough to be implemented and not at the stage of maturity where they would be marketable. For example, it would be cool to have a phone that can be opened to the size of a tablet but only the size of regular phone. And historically, Apple was more focused on refinement of existing technologies than the creation of new technologies. Even if they are, does it matter? iPhone people don't switch. They will mindlessly buy a new one every year or two. I mean, as a market matures, there is less and less innovation and the gains become marginal. I wouldn't worry about the iPhone. It will always be one, if not the best smartphone on the market. The ecosystem is great. The cloud services will keep on growing. However, when will they find the next big thing? I'm certain it won't be the Vision Pro. That is what I would worry about. Not so much the performance of the iPhone. Apple is venturing into sports and streaming services, so I'd say they still have some ideas other than iPhone. Rip Steve. No. The smartphone technology is too powerful nowadays to expect massive innovations every year, and that stands for every company, not just Apple. People have been saying this since 2008. Now go look at how much money they've made over the past 15 years. Yeah, what's the point of titanium? Are they making golf clubs now? I see only the brightest WSB members make a post these days. LMFAO. What else is there to innovate with phones? They're the new laptops. I can't think of anything else you could put on it in terms of hardware. Maybe a projector and a dildo. Or both. USB-C port is huge if you're in the iPhone ecosystem though. Yay, I know it's a self-made problem by Apple. But I would say that's more important than titanium to most buyers. They don't need a new product if they can keep the operating system and user experience fresh. Ideas happening at a smaller level. I always thought Apple made its business on innovation. Lol, really? Gosh forbid they make a boringly reliable product that 2 billion people want. Yeah, they are going bankrupt. You should index if you don't understand Apple. Sticky. Large base with a recurring refresh cycle and focused on recurring revenue service. Still waiting for the metaverse. Anyone? Anyone? Echo. Anyone? Echo. Anyone? Echo. Apple innovative in design. They've never created anything new. Anything they've ever made was existing technology and put into a phone. So when we create something new, Apple might then chuck into a phone. Because Samsung and Apple miss LG innovating their phones where it's usually a gimmick, but with innovation, pretty good idea. That's where they came into play. We all miss LG high-end phones. Steve Jobs did a very good interview way back when. Said that when a company gets really big it stops being run by product people, instead being run by marketing and salespeople. Innovation dies, and eventually so will the company because things get stale. He used Xerox as the example back then. Apple has reached that point. What else you want your cell phone to be? Apple was never really good at innovation. They are very good at productizing innovation made by others. There is no need to be concerned. The iPhone 15 is still a very innovative and well-designed phone. The titanium sides are just a minor addition that does not significantly impact the overall quality of the device. The problem, folks, is that the phone became too heavy. My wife has the 13 Max. I picked that thing up and was shocked. It's way too heavy. Turns out they made it out of stainless steel instead of aluminum. I got the Mini. No way I was going to wander around with that brick. The titanium is lighter. The phone is still way too big, but at least it doesn't weigh a ton. Their cash on balance sheet doesn't give a fuck if they've run out of ideas. If the shares slip, they will just do a share buyback. Simulates. Titanium is lighter and stronger than their usual steel or higher grade aluminum, but it shouldn't be a highlight for a top tech company.